Sorry to hold us up. Are these on? Everybody hear me? Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for selecting Montgomery County and Crawfordsville to host this event. On behalf of Montgomery County, I want to sincerely thank the Indiana Department of Transportation for this generous grant award. We are honored to receive this investment, and we appreciate INDOT's continued partnership and commitment to strengthening transportation infrastructure across Indiana, and especially Montgomery County. This funding represents more than an investment in roads. It is an investment in our people. This funding helps Montgomery County make improvement to our 800 miles of roads that we have in the county. Safe and reliable transportation not only connects our residents to work and school, it supports economic growth, improves public safety, and helps ensure that our community remains a great place to live and do business. We recognize that projects like these are only possible through strong partnerships. I want to take this time to thank our County Highway Director, Jake Lowe, for the work that he and his staff do. His 33 employees at the County Highway Department, they do all of our hard work. Since 2016, Community Crossings matching grants have allowed Montgomery County to pave an additional 64.5 miles and preserve 37.3 miles of our roads, essentially doubling the miles we would otherwise not be able to do. Our county is committed to being a responsible steward of these funds. We will use this grant wisely and efficiently to deliver improvements that will benefit our residents for years to come. Together, we're building infrastructure that is safer, stronger, and better prepared for our future. Thank you again to INDOT Commissioner Lindsey Quist, and thank you, Governor Braun, for being here and for your confidence in our county and for your ongoing support of communities like ours. We look forward to continuing our partnership as we work together to keep Montgomery County and Indiana moving forward. I will now turn it over to Commissioner Lindsey Quist.
Thank you, Commissioner Gard, and thank you, Montgomery County, for hosting us here today. Today, INDOT is proud to award $84 million in community crossing matching grants to 147 communities across the state of Indiana. And we're especially glad to be here with a portion of those communities in West Central Indiana. Since its inception in 2016, over $2 billion in state matching grant programs to help the local road and bridge network around the state of Indiana and provide Hoosiers with a better local road network. Many communities have received these awards multiple times, paving the way for enhancements. Since 2025, the legislative session, we were grateful for the General Assembly to give us these additional funds to award this state fiscal year. From cost favorability from initial awards, we've been able to award $165 million to local governments. Congratulations to all of our recipients. And as we wrap up for state fiscal year 2027, there will be one call in September. And I encourage all of you to continue to apply for this wonderful introduce Governor Mike Braun.
Well, thank you to Matt and Lindsey. The irony is that I was in the state legislature back when we did that, representing Jasper and Washington, the DuBois and Daviess counties. And I remember that novel idea of skin in the game, which I've always been a believer in, because when you do that and you're asking others to participate, it's just going to be spent more wisely. And I do remember too that before we did community crossings, it basically was a different form of funding. And that idea of locals having to put some match into it was not actually received that well out of the gate because it was new and novel, and actually had some complaints from mayors and commissioners that, why do we need to participate? But I think commissioners and mayors know that skin in the game does make sense. And my goal as your governor is going to be to enhance it beyond what we're doing here. And how can we do that? Well, when you elected me governor, I ran on running our own state government more efficiently. Thanks to Matt, thanks to Lindsay, thanks to the team, we're doing it throughout all agencies to where we're probably doing more and saving close to $1 billion a year along the way. And then when it comes to economic development, I ran on the fact that there are 92 counties in this state, and that all of them need to get as much attention as just a few have in the past. So places like DuBois County, Montgomery County, we're kind of rural counties. Crawfordsville been blessed on gaining population. I remember turning left out of my driveway on 231 for 4 years in a Dodge Charger. You didn't need a GPS. You just needed to stay on the road and take a left off of 231. I think it was on the College Drive. I did that 4 years and got to know a lot about Montgomery County and Crawfordsville. Every one of our counties is going to get attention to the extent maybe they haven't in the past. And infrastructure is the place where it shows up most visibly. We're the crossroads of America. We've got more interstates lacing through our state than any other state, kind of per square mile. And that's a whole nother issue in terms of how we maintain them. And infrastructure and how we raise funds to do it. I was a co-author of the bill when it, was a sales job to convince Hoosiers that we could raise gas taxes by 10 cents a gallon, diesel by 20. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this. And part of the promise was that if we did it, 100% of it would be dedicated to roads and bridges. Not to mention that we flipped every cent of sales tax on fuel to where only 1 cent of the 7 was being used on roads and bridges. Now it's all of it. So that challenge is ahead of us. Good roads and infrastructure support jobs, economic development, help businesses attract employees and grow their business. And all I can tell you, as long as I'm your governor, I grew up in the world of running a business. And we haven't had governors that have signed the front side of a paycheck. Probably have to go back to Bob Orr from Evansville. And I think you as commissioners, as mayors, you are the closest thing to a business in government. And you always have our attention when it comes to road funding and the things you need to do. Our goal is going to be to each year increase it above this 165 million. So as long as we keep running the state well, we've got the fastest economic growth in the Midwest. When I got in, our unemployment was 4.4%. It's now 3.3%. That is getting into uncharted territory. That bodes well for us as a state, for getting our kids to move back to it, start their own families and businesses. So this is one of those fun days to be a governor, because in this job, mostly it feels like an ombudsman in terms of all the input you get, which generally is closer to 50-50, positive or negative. One other piece of good news, due to how we're running state government, any of the funding lost, I can tell you by far, the easiest thing that I've done as governor has been the gas tax holiday. Begs the question, what about the funds that you've not been getting? You're going to be replenished 100%. So that announcement actually has gone out today, and the mechanics of it got to go through the budget system. But every penny that you've had to forego will be replenished, and we hope to do the same thing for state road funding as well. That's because we're running state government efficiently and economic growth is good. Pleasure to be here today to dole out some of these checks. And thank you for coming. It's a full room. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Governor. Now we are going to present representatives of the selected cities, towns, and counties with their Community Crossings Matching Grant Awards. As I call your city, town, or county, please come forward so that you can have a photo with Governor Braun, Secretary Ubelor, and Commissioner Quist. After you receive your check, please plan to remain briefly so we can do a group photo at the end. That's the fun part. So first, we will start with the town of Brownsburg. Come on up. Pull it up. This. No, you get to be first.
Congratulations.